Welcome fellow TV and film fanatics to the binge list. I'm Greg, and Netflix is bringing a boatload of content in April of 2024. And again, this month it is going to be hard to prioritize what's worth your time. So I try to narrow down this massive list to some that seem to stand out to me. And this month actually has some really solid options coming to the service, from nostalgic movies, action, adventure, sci-fi, to shows, to new originals that look really awesome, and a few that really piqued my interest as well. And I can't talk in depth about every single title on this list, or this video is going to be 3 hours long. So I briefly talk about the ones that did stand out to me, then later on I'm going to show you an entire list of everything that's coming to the service April of 2024. So stop mindlessly scrolling, stop wasting your time, let's jump in, check it out. So let's kick off this list with everything that's coming out on April 1st that looked like it was going to be pretty good. And my first pick is the film I love and I've reviewed before, and that's Baby Driver. Baby, played by Ansel Elgort, is a talented getaway driver whose tinnitus is soothed only by the music that he constantly pumps through his headphones. He is forced to work with a mysterious crime boss, Doc, played by Kevin Spacey, and he uses his skills behind the wheel to orchestrate daring heists. However, he yearns for a normal life when he meets Deborah, played by Lily James, a waitress who just captures his heart. From the get-go, you can tell that director Edgar Wright wrote the script with specific songs in mind, crafting the narrative around the soundtrack that becomes so instrumental in this story. And that makes this film a unique blend of action, crime, heist thriller, and then these musical elements. And the soundtrack is absolutely stellar. It's really awesome to listen to during the film, along with strong performances from Elgort, Isaac Gonzalez, Jamie Foxx, and John Hamm. If you haven't seen it, Baby Driver is a stylish and action-packed crime thriller with a unique focus on music. While the story may be considered simpler by some, the film's strengths lie in its innovative use of the music, directorial vision, and the lead performances by Elgort.
So what is it you do?
I'm a driver.
My next pick on the first is kinda sorta based on a childhood board game. This is Battleship, where a global Navy war game goes awry when an international fleet encounters a powerful armada of extraterrestrial warships. Lieutenant Alex Hopper, played by Taylor Kish, and Captain Stone, played by Alexander Skarsgård, find themselves on the front line of a desperate battle for Earth's survival. As the alien technology proves far superior, humanity's last hope rests on the ingenuity to overcome an unseen enemy and repel this invasion. This film has some really spectacular visuals in it. The special effects and the depiction of these large-scale alien ships and futuristic weaponry was super impressive, and this leads to thrilling high-seas battles and action sequences that keep you entertained throughout. And a solid cast, with Kish and Skarsgård leading the way, along with a lot of great supporting actors in this film: Brooklyn Decker, Liam Neeson, Rihanna, Tadanobu Asano, Hamish Linklater, and plenty of others. This one is certainly not the best story ever told. It can be a bit predictable and lacks some depth with some of the characters, but Battleship, it's just visually impressive. It's this sci-fi action film that offers large-scale battles and an alien invasion premise. It's really, really fun.
Warning red. Weapons tight. I want everything loaded.
Next on my list is a movie that most are probably familiar with, but it's an iconic Adam Sandler role, and this is Happy Gilmore, where Happy is this rage-fueled ex-hockey player with a powerful slap shot. Unfortunately, his anger management and just his overall skills prevent him from making any hockey team. However, Happy discovers a hidden talent for golf, thanks to a unique swing that he's honed over years of slapping pucks. Determined to win back his grandmother's house from the IRS, Happy enters the world of professional golf, where his unorthodox methods, including brawls with other competitors and on-course antics, turn him into an unlikely celebrity. I think this movie is hilarious. It has a blend of slapstick humor and just ridiculous silliness throughout. You can't help but laugh at it most of the time, and Sandler and his cast have great comedic timing, and they play these outrageous characters. This film blends that slapstick and silliness with pop culture references and quotable lines that stick with you way after you're done watching this. Happy Gilmore is a comedy that I feel like continues to entertain with this outrageous humor and memorable characters, and I know the humor might not be for everyone, but I believe it's certainly worth a watch to check for yourself.
Son of a ball, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Also on the first, we get two additional titles from Sandler. We get Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2. My sons love these films, so definitely great for those of you with young kids in the house. But these films follow Dracula, voiced by Sandler himself, who has built a luxurious hotel as a safe haven for monsters to relax and avoid pesky humans. However, his world is turned upside down with a human backpacker named Johnny, played by Andy Samberg, stumbles into his hotel and meets his daughter Mavis, voiced by Selena Gomez, who becomes smitten with this human guest. And their adventures and relationships carry on into the sequel. The humor in these films appeals to both children and adults, with slapstick gags along with pop culture references and witty dialogue. The cartoonish animation style looks great and complements the film's comedic tone, keeping it very lighthearted, and it has an A-list cast, including Sandler, Gomez, and Sandberg, along with Kevin James, Steve Buscemi, Molly Shannon, CeeLo Green, and David Spade. So again, these are awesome options for a fun and entertaining movie night with the family.
Ever since she was born, I've wanted to protect my little ghoul. So I created a place where all monsters could be safe.
From them!
One of my favorite options from the first is my next pick, and that is the crime thriller Inside Man. When a cleverly orchestrated bank heist in Manhattan takes a dramatic turn when a negotiator, Detective Keith Frazier, played by Denzel Washington, gets caught up in a tense standoff between the robbers and the police. The mastermind behind the heist, played by Clive Owen, has a hidden agenda beyond stealing just money. As hostage negotiations reach a stalemate, Frazier finds himself drawn into this complex web of deceit, with high-stakes secrets and hidden motives coming to light. This film gets super tense and super suspenseful, keeping you on the edge of your seat with a lot of unpredictable twists and turns, along with a super strong performance from Denzel Washington and Clive Owen. They deliver these captivating performances that create a compelling dynamic between these two characters. This one is an intricate plot with sharp dialogue, and the story unravels from multiple perspectives that let you explore the heist from different viewpoints, giving you an understanding of the motivations behind the characters' actions. I highly recommend this one on the first. Inside Man is a well-acted and suspenseful crime thriller with a complex plot and strong performances.
Is Dalton Russell. Pay strict attention to what I say because I choose my words carefully and I never repeat myself.
Next, we get a film that's based on the true story of Molly Bloom, and that's called Molly's Game, where we meet Molly, played by Jessica Chastain, who is a young, ambitious woman who ends up running the world's most exclusive, high-stakes poker game for Hollywood celebrities, athletes, and high-powered businessmen. The game also attracts the Russian mob, and that's when Molly's life takes a dramatic turn. She's raided by the FBI and faces federal charges. With the help of her lawyer, Idris Elba, Molly must fight to clear her name. This is a film that I watched, I really enjoyed it, but I forgot about it, so I definitely want to rewatch this on the first, because it boasts a super talented cast with Jessica Chastain, Idris Elba, Kevin Costner, Michael Cera, Jeremy Strong in these prominent roles in the film. And Chastain delivers a captivating performance as Molly. She's really showcasing her determination and resilience in this character, along with Elba, who's always amazing. And with a premise like this movie you might think would be slow, but it's really not. I really enjoyed the film's energy, along with its immersive look into this world of high-stakes poker that does keep you entertained and not confused. They even brought in professional poker players as consultants on the film to ensure that it's accurate. Again, this is a well-acted and entertaining option for crime drama enthusiasts with a strong cast. Definitely worth checking out.
I'm Molly Bloom. Do you know about me?
I read your indictment after I got your call last night, and I brought your book.
My next two I'm going to talk about them together because they're from the same universe and they kind of go hand in hand. These are 2016's Split and 2019's Glass, where in Split we meet Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by James McAvoy, who suffers from dissociative identity disorder and manifests 23 distinctly different personalities in his head. Then we meet three young girls, including the resourceful Casey, played by Anna Taylor-Joy, who become his latest captives. As the film carries on, we find out that one of Kevin's alter egos is this mysterious figure known as the Beast that promises this unimaginable power. And following the events of Split, we pick up with Glass with Bruce Willis's character David, who is a security guard with superhuman strength who's trying to track down Kevin to stop him and his dangerous alter egos before they can harm more innocent people. In a world packed full of superhero movies and shows, this is certainly a unique twist on the superhero genre. Split and Glass take a different approach, focusing on the psychological elements and questioning traditional hero and villain narratives. I can talk about a lot of good in these films. They are suspenseful, thrilling, and have some horror elements intertwined, making them really fun. But what really steals the show is James McAvoy's performance. His portrayal of Kevin and these 23 different distinct personalities is exceptional, showcasing his incredible acting range and the ability to embody each one of these characters distinctly different. You can even tell when they switch on screen. His personality shifts, his facial expressions change, his voice, his body language, just how he carries himself. It's really just a masterclass. And supporting McAvoy, you have a pretty solid cast as well, with Anna Taylor-Joy, Bruce Willis, Sarah Paulson, and Samuel L. Jackson. Both of these are great movies. I would recommend Split a little bit more than Glass, but they're both fun. They have unique takes on a flooded superhero genre with exceptional acting and suspenseful plots.
23 identities live in Kevin's body. Did something happen?
My next pick might not be Shakespearean level story, but the concept is so cool and unique, it's definitely worth checking out, and this is the book adaptation of Mortal Engines. This takes place in a post-apocalyptic future ravaged by the 60-minute war, and giant mobile cities roam a barren wasteland, consuming smaller towns for resources. Hester, played by Hera Hilmer, is a fierce young woman with a mysterious past who seeks revenge on Thaddeus Valentine, played by Hugo Weaving. Her paths collide with Tom, played by Robert Sheehan, a naive historian from London who falls from the city and ends up on the ravaged earth below. What really catches your eye with this film is its grand scale. This is so visually stunning, with these massive landscapes and mechanized roaming cities that create a truly captivating post-apocalyptic world. Along with the exciting chase scenes and battles between these mobile cities, you can definitely tell Christian Rivers brought his experience from The Lord of the Rings to the world building and set design of this movie. This may just be me, but I think this has some phenomenal actors that I really enjoy from some other titles. Obviously, Hugo Weaving is amazing, but you also have Robert Sheehan, Regé-Jean Page, Stephen Lang, and Ji Hae. If you enjoy incredible visuals like I do, or you just like steampunk adventures with exciting action sequences, Mortal Engines is worth giving a chance.
That is London.
I literally just talked about this next movie on my recent video for Prime Video Movie Nights, and it's something that I've watched a ton, and now that it's coming to Netflix, I do have to recommend it again here for you guys, Role Models. And I'm not going to go through and say just the exact same things that I said last time. You can check out the full recommendation here, but this is a story about two guys who are forced to participate in a Big Brother program as community service, assigned to mentor two boys, Augie and Ronnie, and this is where their lifestyles and their community service clash and create these hilarious, outrageous situations packed full of laughter. I have to shout out the comedic duo of Seann William Scott and Paul Rudd. They're amazing together. Their chemistry and timing, along with the kids Christopher Mintz-Plasse and Bobby Thompson, really create these iconic and quotable moments. The movie is mostly over-the-top, ridiculous humor with tons of profanity, so if that's not what you're interested in, this is not for you. But it has other elements that are blended in, like some of the actual genuine, heartfelt moments as they grow together. This film is packed full of humor, but it's surprisingly heartwarming with strong comedic performances from the leads. Double recommending it now.
Ronnie's one of our youngest. No one's lasted more than a day. But I think you're perfect because you're young and you don't want to go to prison.
What up, Ronnie?
I don't want to take my pants off.
What?
Sticking with comedy, my next selection is Talladega Knights. This is a movie that follows Ricky Bobby, who is this NASCAR reigning champion with an unshakable belief in his own greatness. However, Ricky's world is turned upside down when a Formula One driver named John Girard arrives challenging Ricky. A devastating crash leaves Ricky seriously injured and questioning his ability to race again. This movie is a hilarious comedy that parodies the world of NASCAR, poking fun at its culture, its personalities, and its flamboyant characters. And who better to take on these flamboyant characters than Will Ferrell? His portrayal of this arrogant and clueless Ricky Bobby is a comedic highlight, filled with quotable lines and outrageous antics the entire way. Along with a great supporting cast that includes people like John C. Reilly, Sacha Baron Cohen, Michael Clark Duncan, Gary Cole, and along with Ricky's hilarious children who deliver these memorable performances that complement Ferrell's humor. Obviously, this is a NASCAR parody with clever satire of NASCAR culture and its larger-than-life personalities, but I recently watched an interview with some real NASCAR drivers, and I quote, "This is more of a documentary than you realize," which in my mind makes this even funnier. If you're looking for a night of lighthearted comedy, Talladega Nights is a laugh-out-loud comedy with quotable lines all day, well worth the hour and 45 minutes of your time.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus, I want to thank you for my family, my two beautiful sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, and of course my red-hot smoking wife.
Another movie I just recently recommended on my HBO Thrillers video that is coming to Netflix is the neo-noir thriller set in the early 1990s Los Angeles, and this is The Little Things. Kern County Deputy Deke is sent to Los Angeles to receive some evidence for a case. While there, he gets sucked back into his old life and drawn into a serial murder investigation and clashes with the by-the-book detective that's on the case. But they pursue the mysterious suspect anyway, who appears to be playing twisted mind games with them. It is hard to imagine a better leading cast than Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto leading the way. They all three have captivating performances, and the three exhibit dynamic chemistry on screen with each other. And when their characters are on screen together, it is pure fireworks. This crime film is thrilling, suspenseful, and even a bit psychological at times, but it's also this character-driven narrative that explores obsession, guilt, and this lingering impact of past trauma. So you've got strong performances, check. Suspenseful narrative, check. Exploration of these dark themes, check. This one is perfect for fans of a neo-noir crime thriller.
Things probably changed a lot since you left.
You still got to catch him, right?
Yeah.
Not that much has changed then, right?
So for my fellow sci-fi lovers, you cannot really go wrong with my next pick. It is The Matrix, coming to Netflix on April 1st. And for the small group of you that are not familiar with this, The Matrix follows Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, who is trapped in a simulated world that he perceives as reality called the Matrix. Machines have enslaved humanity, keeping them pacified within this virtual world. We quickly meet Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, and Trinity, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. They're rebels that are fighting for humanity's liberation who lead Neo to a new reality, a desolate wasteland where the last remnants of humanity wage war against these machines. Neo is prophesied to be the one, a savior with the power to manipulate the Matrix and free humanity. And the trilogy includes the original Matrix, The Matrix Reloaded, and Revolutions. And this trilogy is a landmark science fiction series. It pushed the boundaries of special effects like the now iconic bullet time visual effect and just action filmmaking in general. All three films incorporate these groundbreaking visual effects and out of this world action choreography to create a fantastic story that arcs just amazingly over these three films. These are awesome options that I definitely recommend for you. And if you haven't watched these, first, I'm shocked you haven't seen them, but also recommend they be at the top of your watch list going into April. The last title I'm going to talk about that's coming on April 1st is a series that I was absolutely obsessed with for a little bit, and that is the series White Collar. This is a crime drama series that follows the unlikely partnership between FBI Special Agent Peter Burke, played by Tim DeKay, and a charming con artist Neil Caffrey, played by Matt Boomer. After years of chasing Neil, Peter finally captures him. Faced with this long prison sentence, Neil proposes a risky deal. He'll use his expertise in art forgery, counterfeiting, and impersonations to help the FBI catch other white-collar criminals in exchange for a reduced sentence and a taste of freedom. The duo embarks on a series of thrilling cases. They navigate the world of high-stakes art theft, financial crimes, and elusive white-collar criminals. The two leads in the show portray such compelling characters and have amazing chemistry together. Their contrasting personalities create such a captivating dynamic, and you can't help but enjoy their witty banter and evolving friendship, and you really find yourself rooting for Neil even though he is a criminal. I really like that in this series they explore new and exciting cases that I can't really remember seeing in many other shows. The writers do such a good job creating these well-choreographed cons, and despite exploring the criminal underground, it always feels fun, somewhat grounded, and it does keep it very lighthearted. White Collar is another title I recommend pretty highly for its excellent cast, its witty dialogue, and these just unique, exciting cases. The 1st of April has a ton of established titles and franchises coming to Netflix, but on the 4th we get a new Netflix original that looks really exciting, and that's Ripley. This is based on Patricia Highsmith's classic crime novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley. The series is set in the 1960s, and it follows Tom Ripley, who's a young grifter who's offered a seemingly simple job by a wealthy businessman, travel to Italy, convince his son to return home. However, upon arrival, Tom becomes captivated by this glamorous lifestyle. Consumed by envy and ambition, Tom embarks on a web of deceit and manipulation, blurring the lines between reality and illusion. This series is listed as a crime thriller, but looks to have a lot of psychological thriller elements, as the series seems to focus on Tom's descent into manipulation and crime. And it's hard to miss in the trailers, but it has this stylish black and white look depicting the 1960s Italy. The show looks like it's really going to have some stunning visuals. And what looks to be some strong performances as well. Andrew Scott's portrayal of Tom just from the trailer looks absolutely menacing. This is certainly near the top of my list to check out as soon as it drops in April. With an 8-episode limited series like this, I know that I can binge straight through this. It has some visually stunning cinematography in it and potential to be a captivating psychological thriller. I'm definitely going to check this one out.
He came to Italy, moved into Dickie's house. He just wouldn't go away.
On to the 16th with the action thriller Anna, where this seemingly ordinary young woman is hiding a deadly secret. She is a ruthless assassin working for a powerful Russian intelligence agency. After a brutal training program that erased her past, Anna is a highly skilled operative who eliminates targets with cold-blooded efficiency. However, during their mission, she encounters a charming agent, and their connection sparks a forbidden romance. Torn between her loyalties and her newfound love, Anna embarks on a journey of self-discovery in this one. This film's concept of a sleeper agent caught between love and loyalty is always an intriguing premise that definitely shares similarities with some other popular movies and franchises, like the film Black Widow, Salt, or even like La Femme Nikita, with some well choreographed and brutal fight scenes as well as some overall stylish action sequences. Sasha Luce is actually an actress that I'm not super familiar with, and she's obviously very beautiful, but she brings more to this film than just that. She's delivering convincing fights choreography and this intriguing yet fairly ambiguous character, along with some really phenomenal actors supporting her, like Helen Mirren, Luke Evans, and Cillian Murphy. If you enjoy spy thrillers with an identity crisis, Anna is a solid pick with stylish action sequences and a familiar but captivating premise.
It's quite the fairy tale you got going on here. From top flight model in Moscow to rubbing shoulders with the elite.
My next pick is the show Black Sails, and this was one of Star's flagship series and is now coming to Netflix on the 17th. And Black Sails is a historical drama set 20 years before the events of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel, Treasure Island. The series delves into the ruthless world of piracy during the Golden Age, focusing on the adventures of Captain Flynn, this brilliant but ruthless pirate captain, and his complex relationship with John Silver, who is a young, ambitious crew member at this time. Flint navigates a treacherous landscape filled with rival pirates, powerful empires, and the ever-present threat of the British Navy. Since Black Sails is a prequel to the iconic classic novel, it does offer a fresh perspective on some iconic characters you might be familiar with, like Long John Silver. But he is only one of the many compelling characters in this series. They all feel very well developed with their complex motivations and flawed personalities that help drive this narrative forward. And you have to say that this has some high production value in this series, which leads it to some extremely impressive visuals from the detailed ship designs, costumes, and the stunning Caribbean locations on screen. Plus tons of action and adventure from exciting naval battles, sword fights, and daring heists that keep you fully engaged throughout the series. This show is a gritty and unflinching portrayal of pirate life that garnered critical acclaim, winning multiple awards with complex characters, stunning visuals, exciting action sequences. Absolutely worth checking out and binging.
No matter the cost, I'm gonna make you the princess of the new world!
I'm very skeptical and hard-pressed to recommend this next one because the first Rebel Moon movie didn't go over so great, but I'm going to give it a shot, hoping that they take the criticism from the fans from the original and make this one better. But this is a very light recommendation here. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check out the first one of this series on Netflix right now. But in this one, the saga continues in Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. Picking up where the last one left off, this sci-fi film follows Korra and the surviving warriors of the colony as they face a desperate struggle to defend their newfound home from the ruthless forces of the tyrannical regent and his mighty military. Again, not out yet, but the trailers look to continue with the Zack Snyder signature style of spectacular visuals and action, which if they don't fix some of the issues from the original, at least it'll be visually appealing with some intense and stylish action sequences, along with a pretty top-notch cast that'll do the best they can with the material they're given. But you have Sophia Boutella, Jenna Malone, Anthony Hopkins, Carrie Elwes, Michael Huisman, and Jaimin Hansu. So to sum this up, this is a very skeptical recommendation. If you'd call it a recommendation at all, I'm calling it a hope and a prayer. But Rebel Moon Part 2 has all the components to be a great movie. It's got a great director with great actors, a stunning visual look, and some high-octane action. So definitely fingers crossed that they fix some of the issues from the original.
Their nightmare is you and I fighting together.
You must know you cannot win.
Now on April 23rd is a movie that I just recently checked out with my wife, and I did really enjoy it, and that is the movie Anyone But You. This is very much your typical over-the-top romantic comedy that follows Bea, played by Sydney Sweeney, and Ben, played by Glenn Powell, and their first date starts off with a bang, but a series of unfortunate events leaves them on bad terms. However, as it does in romantic comedy, fate intervenes when they unexpectedly find themselves reunited at a destination wedding in Australia. To avoid disappointing their family and friends or ruining the wedding, Bea and Ben decide to pretend to be a happy couple. As they navigate the wedding festivities and spend more time together, the initial spark reignites, leading them to question their first impressions and explore the possibility of a real connection. I do want to say the family and friends group that surround the lead duo are just kind of there. They do lead to plenty of the hilarious and awkward situations in this one, but overall the film focuses in on these main characters, and the chemistry between the main characters, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, is a highlight. They are strikingly good-looking human beings, which doesn't hurt the film, but what really makes the movie for me is their banter and comedic timing. I actually found myself laughing out loud way more than I thought going into this one. And while the enemies to lovers trope is very familiar to most of us, even predictable, I say this every time I recommend a rom-com: enjoy the journey. And this journey is 100% a lighthearted and fun one. If you're looking for suspense or twists or turns, this is definitely not for you. This is purely an entertaining escape with witty dialogue and humorous situations. Overall, Anyone But You is just this fun movie. It's a charming and entertaining romantic comedy with a likable cast and beautiful setting. Plenty to enjoy for a rom-com movie night.
Pretty long flight. Do you want anything from the front of the boat?
I'm all good on creatine and small dick insecurity.
Nothing small about me. What the?
The very next day, we get the biodrama that chronicles the journey of Venus and Serena Williams' father and King Richard. This film explores Richard's unconventional coaching methods and unwavering belief in his daughter's potential. The film kicks off in Compton, California, and follows the Williams family as they navigate the challenges of poverty, racial prejudice, and the competitive world of tennis. Richard has a relentless pursuit of his daughter's success and pushes them to their limits, shaping them into champions both on and off the court. Will Smith is outstanding in this film. He received a ton of praise for his portrayal of Richard, and Smith is always charismatic on screen, but this one he delivers a committed performance with a ton of emotional range, going through moments of unwavering belief to scenes of vulnerability and doubt, along with working really well with the young actresses, Sanaya Sidney and Demi Singleton, who provide strong performances as the young Venus and Serena Williams. Being a sports movie, this is a really inspirational story. The film's message of perseverance, overcoming adversity, and delving into the sacrifices made by this entire family, not just focusing solely on Richard. This film was produced by Venus and Serena Williams, so you'd imagine this was an authentic look behind the curtain of two legends in the sports world. And it's well acted, it's inspirational, definitely worth the 2.5-hour runtime when it hits on the 24th.
So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
So what'd you think?
My last recommendation is probably the title that I'm most excited about, and this is The Dead Boy Detectives. The series is listed as a dark comedy mystery series and is based on the DC comic characters created by Neil Gaiman from the same world as The Sandman. And I love The Sandman, so I'm hoping that this one has the same quality. This story follows Charles and Edwin, these two teenage boys who died mysteriously but remain tethered to the earthly realm as ghosts. And now they operate a detective agency solving supernatural mysteries and helping lost souls who come to them for assistance. The concept of teenage ghost detectives solving supernatural mysteries reminds me of many of the animes that I really enjoy, like Yu Yu Hakusho and Detective Conan, but now as a live action adaptation, it feels like a fresh and intriguing premise for a series. The show's trailer hints at a blend of dark humor with witty dialogue, and despite the supernatural setting, the series does look like it's going to have the coming of age dynamic to it as well. Again, another one that's not out yet, but based on the trailers, Dead Boy Detectives looks like it has the potential to be awesome. With dark humor, intriguing premise, from the mind of Neil Gaiman, certainly checking this one out as soon as it drops. And that's going to do it for our list today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can check out some of our other recommendations right here. And I know everybody says this, but take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help us get our recommendations out to others looking for great TV shows and movies they can access from the comfort of their own home. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next one.